Hello, and welcome to Gentle Yoga with Tanya. I'm Tanya. Thank you so much for joining me here today. A few things before we get started. We are going to transition to some standing poses at a certain point, so if you do feel like you might need a little extra assistance making that transition, please just make sure you have something nearby that's sturdy and steady, a block or a chair or wall friend. And we are going to be doing a bit of work in a seated position today, and I have a little blanket that I like to use folded over to sit on when we do those, just to put my hips in a really nice, comfortable seat position and just open things up even further. So just something to keep in mind as we go through our practice. And I want to start today with just our heartbeat breath, right? So let's just take a breath here. And then place one hand right over your heart so you can feel that steady beat. And then one hand on your abdomen to help you notice that gentle movement of the inhale and the exhale. As your abdomen pushes out on the inhale and contracts on the exhale. And you can let your chin drop to your chest. As you just take a moment here, let your shoulders relax. What do you notice in this position? What do you notice about your heartbeat? What do you notice about your breath? What do you notice about the movement of the hand that's on your abdomen? Let's take a moment in this pose here to do a little targeted breathing. We're going to do a breath that I've heard called the trapezoid breath. So in the trapezoid breath, and you can keep your neck down for this as well, or you can have it up. We're just going to breathe in for 3, hold it, and then breathe out for 5. It's making that cool little shape like the trapezoid, right? So let's breathe in for 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. And then release for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in. 2, 3, and hold. And then a really nice long exhale here for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Really notice the movement of the hand that's on the abdomen. Breathing in. 2, 3, and hold. And release. 2, 3. Very nice. Just let your breathing become natural again. You can release your head again if you brought it up for that little moment. Just breathing here. I just had a little yawn, which is a great sign of things being released. So if you notice yourself coughing, yawning, drooling, sneezing, other sounds, it's perfectly fine and absolutely expected, and it's a great sign because it's your body's way of just taking care of things that we don't need anymore, sending it out there, getting rid of it, right? So let's continue to breathe here naturally for just a few more moments. And as we do, I would encourage you to set an intent for class today. What is it that brings you here? What is it that will guide you? It can be a word, it can be an emotion, it can be a phrase. new season. My favorite season, by the way, fall. And that always brings a pleasant change in so many ways. And there's a quote that's been rolling around in my head since the other day, and that is real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time. Real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time. So I'm going to be holding on to that quote for my intent today. Just letting the changes I notice in my body happen. Letting the changes I notice in my mindset happen. And just reminding myself to be patient for those changes that I want to happen that maybe haven't yet. Or just embracing what's here. Real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time. So let's release our hands. Roll your shoulders down. Make sure your jaw isn't holding on to any tension. Let's bring some warmth to our hands. Just give them a nice gentle rub. Remembering to breathe as we do. Now we're going to stop this motion. Now that we have a little bit of warmth in here, we're just going to hold your hands together under your chin. Like, right? And then just breathe in here. And stretch. Letting your chin come to your chest. And then when you inhale, you can release the hands, bring them above your head. And then when you exhale, release behind your back. And you can let your hands clasp here, or you can just leave them apart. And then inhale together. And exhale, clasping under your chin again. Let's do that 2 more times. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale to the side and down. Inhale to the front. Exhale under your chin. Last time. Beautiful. Let's make some figure eights. Loosening those wrists. Loosening your wrists. Just bringing a nice, easy movement here. Just kind of rocking and rolling. And you can go back and forth like this. Or just continue making this little round motion here. Just these little subtle things that add to the bigger picture for our body and our mind. Let's let that go. Shake it out a little bit. Roll your shoulders. Very nice. And let's do a little open hand action here. Jazz fingers. Roll your wrists. Switch directions. Now we're going to turn your palms up. Bring your fingers to your thumb. Breathe here. And as you exhale, just touch your fingertips to your shoulders. And then inhale out. Exhale to your shoulders. Inhale out. Exhale in. Maybe a nice exhale here. Inhale. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Last time. Very nice. Now let's bring your shoulders out like cactus arms, right? We're going to exhale, bring them to your center. And on the inhale, just raise them up a little bit, just as much as is comfortable for you. There's no expectation here for benefit for how high you raise, right? And then exhale, bring it down a little. Inhale up. Exhale down. Just a really soft, subtle movement. A couple more. Your shoulders might be talking to me a little bit, and they might be a little mad at me right now, but you'll thank me later. Breathing in and exhale. One more. Breathing in. And this time when you exhale, come back out to those cactus arms, and we're going to twist to the left on the exhale. So breathing in here. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. If this is too much and you're feeling uncomfortable or feeling actual pain in your shoulders, you can move them down here. That's okay too. You don't have to keep them up here if this is not comfortable for you. Please do move them down here. Inhale back to the center, and then exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time to each side. And back to the center. Release the arms. And let's just roll the shoulders a little bit. Just give them a lot of attention. They might not be used to that level of attention. Let's just roll it. Nice and easy. Think about your breath on this one. Notice if you're holding it. This is one where I definitely tend to hold my breath because I'm so thinking about how good this roll feels that I realize I'm holding. So just give yourself a little check and then switch directions. Just breathing steadily as you do. Beautiful. Let's stop that motion. And we're just going to move your shoulders one at a time here. Just a little inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, like that. Couple more times. Let's hold that. And now let's breathe both our shoulders up to our ears, and then we're going to release with the biggest sigh you can release with today. So breathing in and release. Again, breathing in and release. Last time, nice full breath in. Here we go. Hold it a little more and release. That feels good. We've been sitting cross-legged for a while, so let's stretch those legs out. Shimmy, shake them. Let's do some windshield wipers, whatever feels right for you to kind of get that motion going in the legs. We're going to just bring your legs out straight. You can support yourself with your hands if you want. We're just going to roll the ankles. Nice and gentle. Switch directions. Beautiful. And now let's stop that motion. We're going to inhale, toes pointing up. And then exhale, toes pointing forward. So inhale up. Exhale forward. Very nice. This time we're going to inhale up. And you're going to squeeze the muscles of your legs and your glutes. And then exhale, release. So inhale, toes come up. You squeeze your calf muscles, your hamstrings, your thighs, your glutes, and then you release. Again, inhale and squeeze. Contracting all those muscles. And release. And this time on the exhale, we aren't going to release the contraction. So inhale, squeeze those muscles, contract everything. And then when you exhale, keep that hold. So exhale, inhale, squeeze a little more. You got a little more. You can do it. Squeeze a little more and release. Very nice. Good job. So from here, I am going to sit on my towel or my blanket, whatever it is. If you have one, I encourage you to sit on that as well. And let's go ahead and bring your feet together in a simple pose here. The distance your feet are from your body is your comfort level. So if you're comfortable bringing them in a little closer, please do that. If out here is better for you, that's okay too. Also, if your knees feel a little tender in this space, if they're starting to talk to you a little bit, you can go ahead and put a pillow or something that's the right height for you under here to give them a little support. That's totally fine. Whatever feels right for you. So once you find your space, we're going to breathe in here. And then as you exhale, I want you to just sort of hinge forward. Not coming all the way down, keeping that spine nice and straight, keeping your chin in line here, and then come back up. And then exhale again, coming forward just a little bit. You're really finding what feels right for you. And then inhale up, last time like this. And this time when we exhale, find where it was the most comfortable for you. You may need to adjust a little. And then let's just exhale. And from here, if you wish to release all the way like this with your hands out, please do. I will be doing that. If that doesn't feel great on your neck area and you start to feel some undue tension there or some actual pain, go ahead and just stay right here. Okay, you're still getting a beautiful stretch. In fact, you can very gently walk your fingers out, just keeping your spine and your neck in a neutral position, okay? But if it's okay for you and you want to release, rounding the back, go for it. We're going to be here for a few breaths, breathing in. This is where that folded blanket or pillow to sit on comes in handy. Gives your hips a little bit of a lift and makes this forward bend a little more comfortable. Breathing here. Notice if your fingers are able to walk out forward a little bit more, deepening your stretch. Releasing your head a little further if it's okay for you. And allowing the change in the shape of your body to just happen. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, just very slowly make your way back up. Please make sure that your head is the last thing to come up. Unwind your spine, just one vertebrae at a time. Very nice. Oh, that felt so good. So from here, let's just let your legs open as far as you're comfortable. And again, if your knees are feeling tender, you can either bend them, flex your feet, put something underneath there. Whatever you need to do to feel comfortable in this pose is completely acceptable, and you should do. Keep yourself safe. So from here, we are going to take a deep breath in, and you're going to twist your body just a little bit to your right leg, and then when you exhale, just lean forward a little, and then inhale up, and then exhale, lean forward, inhale up. And what you're looking for is how your hips feel. You want to make sure, exhale, and you can release all the way if you want towards that knee. You want to make sure that your opposite side is still firmly on the ground and that you're not giving a lift like this. So if this is as far as your body is saying it wants to go, that's a great place to be. If your body's saying, yeah, I can go a little further, then that's a great place to be too. So whatever works for you and keeps you in a really safe, comfortable position. Breathing here. Keeping your ankles flexed, toes up towards the ceiling. You can walk your hands out a little bit if it's okay. Or you can keep them in close. And if you want to round your back so that your head goes further down, that's great. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, just very, very gently walk your hands back towards your body, again making sure there's a slow uncoiling there. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, turn toward that left leg, and you may need to adjust a little bit. This side is probably going to feel different than the other side. So let's take an inhale here, exhale forward, inhale up, exhale forward, inhale up, and then this time go ahead and release, noting where it's comfortable for you, noting that back hip on the opposite side, your back hip. I just made up a body part, you guys. Noticing your hip on the other side, making sure that it's nice and firm on your mat or on your blanket. Keeping your back straight if rounding is uncomfortable, but if you want to round, go for it. Breathing here. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, just very gently come back up. Feels good. All right, let's come into cat-cow. Before we do, if the traditional, we're going to be in table with pressure on your wrists. So if your wrists are saying to you, that's not for me today, no worries. You can always do seated cat-cow in this way while we do that. So to show you that is to just take an inhale here. And as you exhale, let your chin come to your chest, tucking, doing a little pelvic tilt here, going towards your back. And then when you inhale, bring everything forward, let your chin come up, smile. And then on the exhale, tuck that chin to the chest and come back. Let's do one more time together like this. And exhale. Beautiful. So if you want to continue doing it this way, please do. But if you want to join me in the other version, please do. So coming into table, a couple things to note. You want to make sure the shoulders above the wrists, the hips are above the knees, and you're giving yourself a nice wide open base here for your hands. And we're going to exhale, tucking in, chin to chest. And then inhale, come all the way through the center. Let that back arch, chin comes up. Such a good stretch for your lower back especially. Exhale, tucking everything down. Inhale, coming through. So the thing to think about with this pose, this feels so good, and there's no need to rush it, right? So when you're ready, begin your exhale and tuck. And just take your time with it. Let all of that excess air leave on the exhale. And then when you're ready, just bring it slowly through the center. There's no rush on this. Just enjoy that sensation, or whatever sensations you're feeling in this pose. And then exhale when you're ready. And just give yourself 2 more on the inhale, 2 more on the exhale at your own pace. And just really notice what's happening with your body when you do this. And then when you're ready, just meet me in neutral table here. And this time when you exhale, we're just going to twist a little to the left. And then inhale, center, and twist a little to the right. Inhale, center. One more time each side. And inhale. Very nice. And just sit back for a second here. We just put a little bit of time in on our wrists. So let's just give them a little quick roll. Switch directions. Whatever feels right for you. You can go up and down. You can do the flashy jazz fingers again if you want. Give them a little shake. So you've earned a luxurious shoulder stretch. It's one of my favorites. And it's a great way to really address stretching the shoulders. So let's, as you can see, I have put my legs out a little bit wider than my mat. So my knees are hanging over the side just a little bit. My big toes are touching. And I'm just going to come into a little wide-legged rest here, letting my forehead come to the mat. And I'm just letting my hands triangle out in front of me. You can let them be straight if you want, or if that's too intense and you're not ready to engage them, you can just let them rest here too, whatever feels right for you. Also, if it's not comfortable for you to have your head on your mat, or you need a little extra support, go ahead and use your folded blanket as well. That's totally fine. whatever is going to make you the most comfortable. We're going to be here for several breaths. And as you're in this pose, take note of what is happening. You can even put your hand on your lower back as you inhale. Take note of that expansion. And then the movement on the exhale. One more breath here. Very nice. I'm going to just move this because I want to show you something else. If you do feel a little discomfort in your knee area on this one, you can always give it a little cushion underneath there too. That's fine. Or if you have a nice big pillow and you want to lay on it underneath, give it a hug and come forward, you can do that too. So from here, you're going to take your right hand, thread it underneath your left, and just let your shoulder make contact with the mat and let the right side of your head make contact with the mat. Just keeping the back side of your body nice and relaxed and just feeling that beautiful stretch. We're here for a couple of breaths. And just let your body settle into this pose. Two more breaths here. And on your next inhale, undo, coming back to the center. Just pause for a moment here. And then we're going to go to the other side. So take your left hand, let it come under your right. Let that left shoulder make contact with your mat. Let the left side of your head connect with the mat. And your right arm can be stretched out completely, or you can bring it in and just leave it here. Whichever feels more comfortable for you. Breathing here. Two more breaths. And on your next inhale, release this pose. So good. Just come on back. We're going to come to a standing. So whatever way feels safest for you to stand, I'm just going to step through here. But if you wanted to do a down dog and come up, you could. Just come on up nice and slow once you get up to this part. Let that head be the last thing to come up. Let your shoulders reset. Just enjoy this motion, right? Just this nice, Roll your shoulders a little if you need to. Wiggle your legs a little if you need to. You can roll your ankles. Switch directions to the other side. Beautiful. Let's do some twists. So I've got my feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. I'm just going to swing it out. A little side to side. You can keep your knees bent here. If you want to go further, change it up a little bit, you can. See if you can see the heel, the opposite heel. But if you want to just keep it here, that's okay too. And let's just stop that motion. You're going to bring yourself together here. We're going to just pause in mountain for a moment. So I have my feet together, but if that's not working for you today, go ahead and keep them hip width apart too. That's totally fine. We're just going to take a moment here in mountain. You want to think about your feet, how they feel firmly planted on the floor, about your knees. Check in with your knees. Make sure they have a little bit of give here. Don't want them to be locked, right? Shoulders are down, jaw is unclenched, and just see what's going on with your body here. Checking in. Are there new things to notice, new sensations, new feelings? Old comfortable feelings. Those are great. Just bring it back. I'm going to separate my feet just a little bit. I'm going to take a nice deep inhale. Shoulders down and separated, teeth unclenched, and then I'm just going to exhale here. Nice and slow. Do that 2 more times. So inhale and exhale. One of my students once described this as, they like to think of it as if their arms were floating down in like a bowl of pudding. Just that nice slow descent. So inhale, and if that imagery works for you, that's a great one to use. Exhale. Nice and slow and steady. So let's do that again. This time we're going to raise up on our toes. Rise up, come up on our toes. So inhale up. Exhale down. Let those heels connect with your mat or the floor. And release the hands. Again, inhale up. Coming up only as far as is comfortable for you. Still feeling nice and strong and steady. Engaging those stomach muscles. And then exhale. One more like that. Breathing in. And then exhale when you're ready. We're going to take it a step further. So this time we'll come up on our heels and then let your chin go towards the ceiling, okay? And do whatever adaptation you need to do. If going up on your toes is not okay for you, then just come forward a little bit as if you're feeling that lifting sensation. So let's do this together. Breathing in, arms up, coming up on your toes if you can, shoulders down and separated, and let that chin go towards the ceiling. And then when you exhale, release your heels to the mat, tuck your chin to your chest, and let those arms float down gently. Nice, and then inhale to neutral. Breath here. Let's do that again. Inhale up, rising up as much as you're comfortable, letting that chin come to the ceiling. You can bend your knees a little bit here if that feels better for you. And then when you exhale, release the heels, release the chin, and release the arms. Last time, inhale. And now inhale up. Can you raise yourself a little higher? And then when you're ready to exhale, a nice controlled release here, letting your heels come down, chin to chest, arms down. And then inhale up. Beautiful. So from here, let's take a nice wide stance. We're going to do a little warrior 2 sequence. So we'll do warrior 2. We'll go into a little peaceful warrior and then a little side stretch, okay? And then we'll go back down to the floor and do some really nice unwinding breath activities before we go into Shavasana. So here in preparing for warrior 2, you want to have a nice little give in your knees, right? You want to let this back leg, in this case for me, it's my left leg is my back leg. My right leg is my toes are going to be pointed completely out, and when I bend my knee, I want to check here. I'm going to inhale and bend my knee, and I want to make sure it's over my ankle. I want to make sure that I'm not extending too far or locking it, right? We don't want either of those to happen. This back leg, the turn in can be what you're comfortable with, and the distance should be what you're comfortable with, okay? Really important though, just to keep that knee right over your heel. Nope, your ankle. So inhale up, looking out over your fingertips, breathing here. Let's inhale and straighten. Exhale and bend. Check out your position, make sure you're comfortable with it. Make sure your tailbone is tucked under and you're providing a nice firm firmness here. So inhale, exhale. And let's sink in, looking out over your fingertips, shoulders nice and strong, and breathing here. And then on your next inhale, you want to turn your palm up, reverse it, and here you can arch back as far or as little as is okay for you. This backhand does not have anything to do right now. It could just kind of be unengaged here. You can look up towards your fingers, breathing here. And then as you exhale the next time, slowly begin this movement so your arm connects with your thigh. You want to make sure that your hips are facing forward. Inhale, arm up. And you can look under your arm here and just breathe, nice and steady. One more, you can do it. Really lengthening that side, letting that fingers really reach beyond here. And then on your next inhale, bring it up. Beautiful. Well done. I know you did a great job. I can tell. So just kind of work it out a little bit. And we're going to go to the other side. So for me, it's my right foot here turning in, left foot turning out. You just want to feel your position here. Make sure that it feels good, it feels right, your knees feel good. Nothing feels like it's torqued in the wrong way. If it does, let's adjust, okay? So let's breathe in here. Looking out over your fingertips, check out that knee, make sure it's in a good place, and then straighten. And then bend. Make sure that knee is in a good spot. Make sure you can still see your toes. Straighten. Exhale and bend. And let's stay in this pose for a second here. Nice and strong. Shoulders down, pelvis tilted, teeth unclenched. Smiling because you're so proud of yourself. Breathing here. Another breath. And then on your next inhale, turn your palm up and reverse. And you can, if this is too much on your neck here, you can just look forward. That's absolutely fine. Or you can look up towards your fingertips, whichever. Breathing here, a couple of breaths. Notice if your body is settling more into the pose or if it's resisting. And then on your next exhale, start to transition so that your forearm can come to your thigh. You want to make sure that your hips are facing forward, your shoulders and chest are facing out. And you're just going to let that arm come over the top. Notice that beautiful stretch. And if it's okay for you to turn your head towards your underarm, you can. If it's not okay, go ahead and just release it this way. That's fine. But if you can, leave it up here. That's perfect. Breathing here, nice stretch. Feeling strong. One more breath. You can do it. And then release. So good. Okay, let's come down to the mat. You guys have earned some really quality breathing time. So I'm just going to take an inhale here. And an exhale coming forward. And I'm just going to bend. But again, if you want to do a little flow there or a down dog, whatever you want to do to get to the mat safely. It's your practice, so it's your choice. Think of me as just your guide. I'm just here to offer suggestions. So from here, let's put your hands behind your knees. We're going to slowly lower one vertebra at a time. My chin is towards my chest. I'm going to bring my knees in, fingertips on my knees. Move forward a little bit. I don't know if you can see me. Fingertips facing my toes. I'm just going to let my knees rotate here. Just do a little sacral massage. So let us unwind from all of that work. Beautiful. Switch directions. Very nice. Stop that motion. And let's let your feet come to the floor. And on your next inhale, I'm just going to breathe here. And then as you exhale, let your knees come together and do a pelvic tilt. And then as you inhale, bring your feet together, let your knees come apart. And then as you exhale, bring your knees together, pelvic tilt. And as you inhale, feet together, knees apart. You can engage your arms here if you want into a little cactus. And then exhale, knees together, pelvic tilt. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Last time. Let's exhale. And then just go to the inhale. We're just going to hold here for a few breaths. Inhale. And exhale in place. Release the arms out to the sides if you want, just inhaling here and exhaling here. And let's undo. Very nice. So from here, let's bring your right knee up. Let your hips come out a little bit to the right. Let your knee cross over and just do a little twist here. And you can let your head turn towards the right hand here if you want. You can cross your legs and engage them in a different way if you want. Whatever's comfortable for you. We're going to hold here for just a couple breaths. One more full breath here. And then as you release, let your legs come back to the center. Let your hips come back to a neutral position. And then bring the left knee up. Let your hips kick a little bit to the left. And let that knee come over. So you can leave that here or you can wind. And then just let your head turn over your left. And just breathe here. It's a nice little twist. Think about your shoulders. You really want to have your shoulders firm to your mat. So no gaps or spaces and no twist in the shoulders. So if you need to adjust the hip or the knee to make that happen, please do that. One more full breath here. And release. Very nice. So before we go into Shavasana, let's come up to a seated cross-legged pose. I'm going to do some spine rocks here, but if they're not comfortable for you, you can go ahead and just come into seated cross-legged whatever way works. But if you want to do some spine rocks with me, you can. Coming all the way up into seated cross-legged. So before we go into Shavasana, let's just take stock here of what feels good. We did a lot of shoulder work today, so let's do a little release here. Let's take your right hand and just hold it on the back of your neck very gently, just like a little pulse hold here. We're just going to do some head nods, yes. Just, yes, I accept change. Yes, I expect that change to lead to something good. Whatever it is you need to say for yes, to keep it positive. And then for no, no's are okay too. No, I will not let change make me feel negative. What do you need to do to turn this no into a positive? They're there for a reason, so. And then let that go. We're going to go to this side. Little yeses. So my yoga instructor has always talked about the gift, right? And that every situation, and little no's, even if we don't want the change or we aren't sure what's happening, that there's always a gift there in some way. And sometimes it takes us a long time to find it. And sometimes it's pretty obvious, so just know that there always is one. Little nose. And eventually, or right away, whichever, we'll find it. So, shoulders nice and released. And then let's come back down to the mat to get ready for our final resting pose here, our Shavasana. So if you want to use your handy dandy little blanket to bolster underneath your hips, you can. If you like to lay down with your knees up and have some support under there, you can pile some pillows or whatever you need to under there for support. whatever it takes for you to feel completely settled and comfortable. Okay? So let's find what that is. Let's release all the way down to the mat. Letting your hands come out to your sides, or if you want to leave them here, you can. And let's just do a little targeted breathing here. I will say, if you do feel a little gap back here, you may, under your hips, you may want to put a little blanket or something under there just to make sure you're in a really comfy pose. Okay, so from here, let's breathe in for 4. We're going to hold and then release for 4. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and hold and release. 2, 3, 4. I'm counting 4 and 4, but if you want to do the trapezoid breath that we did earlier, the 3 and 5, now is a great time to do that as well. But I'll be counting 4 and 4. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and hold and release. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and hold and release. 2, 3, 4. Allowing your breath to just happen naturally now. Letting your eyes close if you want. And just think about each part of your body in its most relaxed state. Notice how you feel on your mat. Notice your toes, your ankles, your calves. Give them permission to relax and just be. Your knees, thighs, your hips. It's okay to release. It's okay to relax. Let those muscles just uncoil. Your abdomen, your chest, shoulders. Notice if as you mention each part, you can feel a physical release into the mat, into your space, your neck, your jaw, your eyes. Allow everything to just settle. Think about that beautiful space between your eyes, your mind's eye. And imagine in your mind's eye you can see this sweet little flame like a candle in your heart. And with every inhale, this flame grows brighter, its energy warmer, calmer, yet revitalizing. Breathing in, it grows. And with every exhale, you allow the cleanliness, the brightness, the warmth of this candle to move through each of the parts of your body we just relaxed. So breathing in, grow your candle, grow your light. And breathing out, we share this light. Picture this beautiful flame that flickers white and gold with with a little bit of iridescent shimmer, growing, calming, cleansing. This amazing flame of gold and white and iridescent shimmer has grown with each inhale and is moving through every part of your being, nourishing, comforting, and bringing a freshness, a cleanness, and a calmness through your eyes, your lips, your shoulders. It's as if you can feel the current of this warmth from your candle, from your glow, from your brilliant light that shines within. It's your light. Your thoughts and your energy are cultivating this beautiful light. Your thoughts, your breath, your energy are allowing the peacefulness of this light to travel through your entire being, comforting, calming, and restorative. Comforting, calming, restorative. This beautiful flame, this light, gold and white with a shimmer, allows you to let go of any thoughts or feelings that don't help this light to grow. It allows you to acknowledge them and send them on their way. And every breath in grows this beautiful light. Calm, comfort, restoration. Allow yourself to become aware of the space around you, how your body feels on the mat, any sounds in the room with you. And as you begin to slowly move your body, wiggling your toes, opening and closing your hands, hold on to the feelings you cultivated. Hold on to that light and its warmth, its comfort. And just let your body stretch In whatever way feels good for you, bringing your knees into your chest and gently rocking from side to side. And when you get all the way to your next side that feels strongest, whatever that is today, just give yourself one more moment here to take in all that we have offered in our practice today. And then let's come on up and meet me in an easy cross-legged pose. Breathing here. And just give yourself a moment to think about your intent before class today or during class and how you feel now. I am so thankful you joined me today, and I hope this new season that we are embarking in, this season of fall and autumn, brings you good change. Namaste.